Welcome back to Chaos Collectibles. This is episode 4 of the Coffee Talk. All right, so our buddy Diego Merengue, I hope I didn't massacre your name. I did the best I could to pronounce that bad boy. Had a question about the Coffin maker. He wanted to take a closer look at that. So I have this as version 2 Coffin maker, not coffee. Coffin maker. He is glow in the dark. He is in the box. He has a black cape, completely glow in the dark, including the head. And he also has looks like a glow in the dark hammer in there too. Unfortunately, I am not going to open this box. However, I do have the original Coffin maker that I will show you. So I believe this is the same box that the Tar Wolf Warrior came in. I'm not sure how many of these were made, probably about 25 or 30. So this is Coffin Maker version 2. However, in the original Zolaverse show that they did the Coffin Maker, they had the original, I believe it was 9. It was going to be 8, but they ended up making 9 due to a little hiccup on their end. And then there was a Bloody Tears one, and then there was like a Gold Eyes one or Silver Eyes one or something like that. I have the original. One of the 9 original Coffin makers. This one is not glow in the dark. But I will pull down this little hood here so you can kind of see the details of the head. And I believe this sculpt was actually done by Craig Farr, I think. I could be wrong. So there is some silver stitching in the back. Almost look like staples in his head. This is the Coffin maker. Now this one's got arms, like so. And it's got that faded black to green color, which actually looks really cool. And the body is solid black. So there are only 9 of these bad boys in existence, and there's like 25 or 30 of the other one. And then there was another one that had Bloody Tears. It was like red around the eyes. And then there was another one, and I think that one had like glow in the dark arms or something on it. I don't remember, but you can still go back and watch those. I believe they're on Zolovision. And I want to say there's one of the Halloween shows. So this one would have been from the last Halloween show year before. So I want to say 2022 Halloween show. You can go back and watch that on Zolovision, I'm sure. All right, so he's got the purple cape. The newer one has the black cape. Different material, a little thinner, but this dude glows pretty bright. So you can actually see him glow through the cape there. So the entire thing is glow in the dark. Both are awesome figures. I do like the glow in the dark head on this one, which is pretty awesome, but I'm a sucker for glow in the dark, right? All right, so our buddy Ryder's Origin ended up asking me about the Battle Mountain and about painting those. So I would take one out and show it to you, but I'll probably create like a domino effect back there with all my stuff, and I don't want to have to deal with that. So as far as those go, those are a soft, pliable plastic. So I have seen where people have repainted some of these Snake Mountain and Castle Grayskull, which is of a harder plastic. Milan ended up doing one. Turned out really cool. Those are harder, and your paint's going to have a harder time sticking to that harder plastic because it's not going to be as porous, and it could be a little bit shinier. The Battle Mountain is much softer, but even though it's softer and the paint will probably stick better, I would highly recommend getting like a dark, I would go with this before going through with any type of car primer or anything, because this is specifically made for plastics. You don't have to go with this color. I would recommend going with the darker color And then that's going to be your base. And then you can go over and paint it, the highlighted areas with the lighter color. I mean, you can even start with black and just paint over it. You know, the recessed area is going to be darker. The stuff that sticks out is going to be a little bit lighter. But yeah, if you get a chance, get on Instagram and check out Milan's stuff. He's got a couple of these painted. He did like a Fright Zone and a bunch of other things, and they turned out like killer. They look freaking awesome. So I would recommend doing that. Just get some good primer. I can only recommend the Army Painter because it's all that I've used. I'm not going to recommend something that I haven't used before. And if you're like concerned about the paint coming off after you paint it, you can always go with an acrylic primer. I know Krylon has one, but again, I can't tell you how good that stuff's going to be, if it's going to cause things to be sticky or not. The best thing to do is to get something, prime it, paint it, you know, experiment on something you know you're not going to use, or a little piece of something, and then go from there. Give it like 24 hours to dry just to make sure you're good to go. If it's still tacky, then that can be an issue. But if not, then you can just continue to move forward with your project. I hope that helps you out, buddy. All right, so the next thing is, I meant to mention this in the last video, but I did reach out to Jokabofe. That is the dude on eBay who did the little resin heads, 3D printed them for me. That took almost a month to get here. He does not do any other sizes outside of the 4, 6, 7, and 12. I wanted an 8-inch size, and apparently he is unable to do those, so that is a bummer. But if you don't ask, the answer is always no. So that is pretty much it for the coffee talk today. Yeah. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope you all have an awesome day. Until next time. Woo!